everybody, my name is Ian Guinness. Welcome back to my studio. So today we're going to talk about 3 topics in music business, and hopefully you can use these topics in your careers moving ahead. So the first topic I want to talk about is what is referred to in the business world. Yeah, I know we're going into business, and why don't we just go into the practice room and play, right? And you'll find out that in music, you're going to have to wear all kinds of hats. So that being said, in business, there's something that is called a value proposition. And what I mean by a value proposition is, what is your product being you as a musician? What are you selling to the producers, or the presenters, and the customers, the people that are buying your tickets? What are you specifically selling? And in that, what is it about your product, you being you the product, what is it that is unique about your product that you're actually giving to those people? So I'll give you an example. I've been in the National Guard for about 15 years. And I thought, hey, I'm a patriotic person. I've served in the Army for 15 years. I'm also a concert pianist. You never see those two things together. How about an American concert pianist? And I thought, wow, that actually might be something that I can give to an audience. It's new, it's unique. It's not shared amongst a lot of concert pianists, obviously in the piano field. So I thought, maybe this will work. And sure enough, a lot of presenters were looking at me and they're thinking, well, hey, this is a great idea. How about put a program together, for example, for a Veterans Day concert, where you actually can play classical music and you can also play patriotic music too in conjunction with that. So a lot of presentations after that happened. And fast forward, I found that was a great thing to basically base my brand off of. So again, our value proposition, I would urge everybody, at least who's watching this video, to look at what it is that you can distinguish yourself from everybody else. And everybody hears this a lot, all the time, like, what do you mean distinguish myself? Well, how about maybe there's a specific composer that you're really good at playing, or maybe you play ultra fast at your instrument, and that's something that really defines you. Even something as minimal as that can actually be a part of who you are specifically. So value proposition, big importance, take that away. The second topic I wanted to talk about is presentation. So as you can see, I actually got into my uniform as a pianist, and yeah, I know it's uncomfortable. You hear all this thing for men, for tuxedos. It's like, wow, I have to wear the old penguin suit again, right? And I'm going to be hot. It's uncomfortable. So basically in that, the performance, I guess I'll pose a question here. When do you think a performance starts? Do you think it starts right when you sit at your instrument and you play, and then you walk off stage and it's over? Or do you think it starts at a different time? So the quick answer to that is, when I look at a performance, it starts when I get into the presentation hall, the hall wherever you're playing at, and the performance stops once I get into my front door at my home and I'm done. I can take my stuff off. So, and I know it's a long time, but think about it. When we go to a performance, the thing is that your brand, your value proposition, mine being the American pianist who basically tries to, put some elegance and show into the old-fashioned style concert piano playing, we basically are using that being my brand throughout the whole night. So after the performance, it's not over. I'm talking to people after the performance. I'm either signing autographs. And yeah, you've all heard the thing is, what is it? Image is nothing, thirst is everything, Gatorade, right? I think that comes from the Gatorade commercial. But in the artist world, especially, we are actors and we are considered to be acting up there. Really, image is a lot of it. And I think I urge on this too, when you're thinking about being out there and doing performances and stuff like that, you need to think about it as a job interview. That's a good way of putting it. How am I going to dress for a job interview? I know it's stuffy. You're getting into a uniform and all this other stuff, but think about it. When you go to a job, you do the same thing. So again, presentation is a lot of it. Think about your presentation in that what your value is, what you're selling, and how that works into how you present yourself. So the last topic I want to talk about is your networking ability. So I'm going to give you a story. My wife and I we were members of the Recording Academy. Actually, I think we still are. And Recording Academy goes through the Grammy Association. If you want to get your album nominated for a Grammy, you go through this organization. They have voters, and you become a voter if you put a CD out. And we went to this party that evening, and we met with a bunch of people. And before that, I would say maybe 3 months prior to that, I was trying to get on WFMT, the classical music station here in Chicago, which I think is one of the best classical music stations in the country. And for months, I was writing cover letters after cover letters. Hey, I got this album out. I'd love to come over and play this on your radio station. Please have me on. It would be an honor to play, on your radio station. And I got maybe a response, and then all of a sudden it dropped off. So kind of dead on the other end of the call. And we went to this party that evening at the Recording Academy, and we ran into who became a good friend of ours. I won't mention this person's name. And this person said, well, why don't you try such and such over at WFMT? This person might put your music on. They do a specific show that might actually work with your album. And I said, okay. So I wrote this specific person, and within literally 3 days from that, I actually was on the air. So they actually started putting my music on that radio station. And I think from what I know, from what I've heard, it's been on multiple times. So then I thought, well, my music is on that station. How about I ask this person if I can do maybe a live piano recital on that station? Because I know that they do that. And sure enough, they said, hey, we'll speak to this person. So I said, okay, let me speak to this person. Hey, I want to be on the show. Can I come over and play my music? And sure enough, within 2 months from that, I was on the show. Okay, so what did we learn from that? At least what did I learn from that? What I learned is networking is going to be very important for you as a musician. It was for me. And for a lot of things, like I've been on WGN Chicago, their live segment. The reason why I was on WGN Chicago is because I knew a person who hooked it up with another person. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? You're like, wow, I have to actually do this and jump hoops. Yeah, because at the end of the day, what happens is that regardless of how much talent you have as a musician, there are thousands of people who want to do the same thing that you want to do. Again, comes to that value proposition. What are you going to do to distinguish yourself from all those other people that basically are coming ahead of you? What are you going to do to differentiate yourself from those people? And I'll tell you, that plays a lot into it. Networking, value proposition, presentation. Those 3 topics are going to be very important to get you a start on what you do moving forward in the music career. Thank you all for coming again to my studio. I hope you learned something different from this, and I hope it will help you with your careers moving ahead. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video.